Welcome to Amrekala Stories. Today we explore a village that most people refuse to speak about. A mining village hidden in the mountains. A place once full of life. But now it sleeps in silence. No one lives here. No one returns. And no one knows why. The story begins more than 100 years ago, high in the northern mountains of America, where a small road cut through the forest. At the end of that road sat a village called Hollow Creek. It was built around a gold mine that ran deep into the rock. The mine gave work to the people. The mine gave food to the families. The mine gave hope, until the day it took everything. Hollow Creek was small but full of energy. Children played near the old well. Mothers hung clothes outside. Men walked to the mine at sunrise. They worked hard. They earned little, but they survived. Life was simple. Life was honest. But underneath the ground, something else waited. Something no one understood. The first signs came slowly. A strange rumble that shook the ground. Not like the sound of machines. Not like thunder. It came from deep under the mine. And every week it grew stronger. Some miners said it felt like breathing. Others said it sounded like a long, slow heartbeat. But the boss told them to ignore it. Gold was more important than fear. One cold morning, everything changed. The miners walked into the shaft like normal. They carried lamps. They carried tools. They carried hope for a better day. But that day never came. Only 20 minutes after they went inside. The ground shook. The lights flickered. And a sound burst out from the mine. A sound no one could explain. A long, low cry. Like a voice calling from inside the earth. People ran to the entrance. Dust filled the air, wood crashed down, and the mine collapsed. Families screamed. Children cried. But rescue teams could not enter. The mine had become a tomb. The echo of that strange cry hung in the village for hours. No one slept that night. No one spoke. They only listened. Because the sound came again. Soft. Slow, like something still, alive deep under the rock. For 3 days the village tried to save the miners. They dug. They prayed. They begged. No one answered. On the 4th day the rescue stopped. The mine was sealed. The village held a small service for the lost. But no bodies were ever found. Only their tools, their lamps, and deep marks on the stone walls. Marks that no human hand could make. After the collapse, life in Hollow Creek changed. The nights grew colder. Dogs barked at empty corners. Windows cracked without reason. People began to hear things. Some heard whispers in the forest. Some heard footsteps behind them. Some heard tapping under the floor, like someone knocking from the ground. One woman named Sarah claimed she saw her husband, a miner, who died in the collapse. She said he stood outside her door at night, covered in dust, eyes dark, face empty. He said nothing. Then he walked back toward the mine and vanished in the fog. People thought she was sick. But then more families reported the same. Men covered in dust standing at the edges of the village, never speaking, never walking toward the houses, only watching. And every night more shadows appeared. Fear spread faster than fire. Families packed their bags. Wagons rolled out at sunrise. Doors were left open. Chairs were overturned. It looked like the people ran, not walked, ran for their lives. Within 1 week, Hollow Creek was empty. No one stayed, not even the mine boss. The village became a ghost. Years passed. Rain washed the roads away. Trees grew through walls. The mine filled with darkness. People forgot Hollow Creek. Maps removed its name. Stories faded. But the silence did not last forever. In the year 2003, a group of hikers found the village. They said everything looked frozen in time. Plates still on tables. Beds still made. Clothes still hanging. As if the people had stepped outside for a moment and never returned. The hikers walked closer. But then they heard something. A deep, steady sound. A slow heartbeat echo. Coming from the old mine. When one of them tried to look inside, He said he saw a shape move in the dark. Not a man, not an animal, something tall, thin, and covered in dust. It stood still. It breathed slow. It watched him. The man ran and never returned to that mountain again. For the next few years, more reports came in. Campers hearing whispers, drivers seeing shadows, hunters finding footprints with no toes. Every story led back to Hollow Creek, the village no one talks about, the place that time forgot, the place that the ground tries to hide. Some say the miners never died. They became something else,
twisted by the depth,
changed by the darkness. Some say something ancient lived in those mountains long before the village. Something that woke when the mine went too deep. Something that wanted the people gone. Some say the village still hears voices, still feels movement under the earth, still waits for someone to return. Today, Hollow Creek remains abandoned. The mine entrance is cracked open. The air is cold even in summer. Local people refuse to go near it. They warn travelers to stay away. They say the ground there breathes. They say the shadows there watch. And they say the people who enter never come back the same. So, remember this. If you ever walk in the northern mountains, and the forest grows silent, and the fog becomes thick, and you hear a deep, slow sound under your feet, do not follow it. Do not go near it. Turn around. Walk away. Because you may have found the mining village no one talks about. Welcome to Amrekala Stories, where every forgotten place has a story, and some stories never sleep.